What's up everybody, my name is Brendan and this is BigBearB Creative. Welcome back everybody. It's been about a week since my last video, and if you are following my social medias, which you should, they're always linked down below and I'll display them here for you. If you've been watching and following over there, we're already starting off great here. You would have saw that I had tweeted or messaged about saying how I had an opportunity for a photo shoot that just came up. It was kind of late notice. I knew it was a possibility, but I didn't know when I was gonna go, and we ended up going Sunday morning, which is normally when my second video of the week goes out, which is why we didn't have a photo editing video last Sunday. But don't worry, photo editing videos are back this Sunday because, like I said, I just went on a photo shoot, so there's more photos for me to show. But also, if you could hear any buzzing in the background, like construction work, that's because there's construction on the street right behind me. I don't know why they waited till everything kind of opened up from the coronavirus a little bit here to go ahead and head out, even though they had plenty of time to do it during that time, but it's fine, it's fine. If you have no idea what I'm talking about the buzzing, it's because I did a good job in the post-processing audio department and you don't hear it. But yeah, so back over to what the actual reason of this video is, besides just giving you a brief update on that whole trip and why there wasn't a Sunday video last week. We're going to be talking about how to fix a problem that sometimes people have, and it's normally because they forgot something. So let's say you're out in the field or whatever, you come across an animal or something that you just need to take a quick action shot, a quick action still of. The cat went into the door. If you even heard that. Again, if you didn't, because good job over in the audio department. But yeah, so you're out in the field, you come across something that you need to take a nice quick action still photo of. You focus in, it looks perfect on your camera, you take the photo, you go home, you put it into your computer, and it's blurry. It doesn't look like it's in focus. But you know it's in focus because you focused it either in yourself or you trusted the camera and you did automatic focus and it looked perfect in your camera, but it's not on the screen. So what happened? Well, typically it's not because the photo is actually out of focus. It's because there's blur, most likely motion blur. And that's because you forgot a simple rule, and that's the rule of shutter speed. Or you just didn't know about this rule. So if you forgot or you haven't heard of it, this is what it is. So basically the rule of shutter speed is that you never, ever take a still action photo with a shutter speed that is equal to or less what your focal length is, or the millimeter that your camera is in. So if you have like a 18 to 55, it's a very common kit lens, and let's say you're zoomed into 55, and your shutter speed is at 50, well then you're gonna have motion blur, unless you're on a tripod, but also if the subject moves at all, you're still gonna have that. So it's really not all on you. You could be just on that subject that you were taking. So yes, you need to have your shutter speed be more than whatever your focal length is. But your camera could also change that, because if your camera has a crop sensor, meaning that, like mine is, I shoot on a Nikon D5200, so the crop sensor is a 1.5 magnification. So in order to find out what your shutter speed actually needs to be, you need to take whatever your focal length is and times it by your crop sensor. And you can find all this out by just Googling, enter your camera name, crop factor or crop sensor or anything like that, and it'll tell you what the crop is on your camera. So you just take the focal length, times it by that magnification of whatever your sensor is, and that'll tell you basically the minimum you can go. But typically you still don't want to shoot just there, because again, there's always going to be a slight possibility of there being that motion blur that's going to ruin your photo. So you always need to take it with a shutter speed that is larger than whatever that is, which means it's going to actually be a quicker shot. Cameras are weird. Larger numbers mean smaller and smaller numbers mean larger, but yeah, that's a whole other thing. But yeah, so you just need to make sure that that's what you're doing to make sure that you're not having that motion blur. Now, if you are doing this and you are using that shutter speed rule, I guess you could say, that you are taking your shutter speed and it's going to be more than whatever your focal length is times your crop factor if you have a crop factor. Some cameras don't have a crop factor, that's called a full frame camera, and then you don't have to worry about it, to use whatever the millimeter of your camera is that you're shooting, or the lens, really not your camera. But yeah, so if you're doing that and you're still having that motion blur, there's a couple things you could do to just kind of help yourself out a little bit more. Shoot on a tripod. Always on a tripod is going to make things easier, unless you're just in a situation that you cannot use a tripod. Like let's say you're a sports photographer or something like that, and you have to be moving. you can't just stay still, then obviously you can't use a tripod. You might be able to use a monopod, and that's gonna help a little bit just because it's gonna give the camera a little bit more balance and just another anchor point besides just your hands or your chest. If you're using your chest, most likely you're probably not, probably be more the brow of your eye that you're using. But there's a whole other different video on anchor points that you can use. But yeah, always use a tripod when possible. And if you're using a tripod, also make sure that you're using a delayed release of the shutter. It can either be a 2-second delay, a 10-second delay, whatever it is your camera gives you options for. Use that, because again, that's gonna mean that the camera's stable by the time it's taking the shot. Because even when you're pressing that shutter button, the camera's gonna move a little bit. And any movement with the camera and the focus, it could pull it out of focus, in focus, make it more of a soft focus, anything like that. So make sure that you're using that delayed. And also, if just to help even more, don't even use the delayed, but use a shutter release remote. It could either be a delayed remote too that you could use, or just as soon as you click it, it takes a shot. Either way, that's meaning you're not touching your camera, and it's gonna help make sure that you're having a much more smooth, actually focused camera, shot, photograph or anything like that, to make sure that it comes out correctly and you don't get home about really psyched about this photo, then you pull it up and you can't use it. So make sure that you are doing that, and also know that, because a lot of the times when you're starting off or anything, you're using that shutter speed to kind of just change the light to make sure your photo is bright enough, because you either haven't heard about the shutter speed rule or you forgot about it. So make sure that you're at least meeting that shutter speed rule, and then you could play with it in terms of whatever brightness you need to have. Typically it's gonna be darker, but that's okay, because you could actually pull a lot of things back from shadows a lot easier than you can from highlights. But you could pull a lot back from shadows. And if you stay tuned, Sunday, I'm gonna show you how I do this on a photo editing video. So make sure that you subscribe to this channel so that you see when that comes out. You could also, again, check out my social medias, because it's gonna tell you, and I'm gonna tell you when that video is out, so you could kind of see how much you could pull back from this really dark photo because you had to follow the shutter speed rule. So make sure you do that. And if you learned something in this video, make sure you tell me down in the comment section below. I really like to hear what you guys are learning, or if you want anything explained more or anything like that. Again, you could also do that on my social medias as well. Yeah, so let me know by liking this video too. It's really, like I said, it's really gonna just help me know that you're liking this video, and that I should keep making more of these for you guys, and that we're all just learning and enjoying this photography experience here. So yeah, go ahead and like, subscribe, comment down below, follow the social medias. Also, like I said, the social medias that are down in the description, you're also going to find links to my website, which is going to include links to my merch page, which is going to have my apparel and photo prints you could purchase. They're also available each on their own separate websites, which is where I sell them from, but I just link to them on my website. So if you're looking for any apparel, all my apparel is eco-conscious, meaning that the way that they're created is just a cleaner way, so we're not polluting as much or anything like that. So go ahead and check those out. Those are all different graphic designs that I've done on this channel. All of them are nature-based, as long as being eco-conscious. They also have stickers available with them that are just the design itself. Those aren't eco-conscious yet, but hopefully they will be at some point. And then also, if you're looking for photo prints, you're gonna go out in this great springtime vacation, but then coronavirus hit and you couldn't go anywhere. It sucks. We all had to experience that, and hope everyone's doing well and all that right now. Things are kind of opening up, so I hope things go well from here and we don't hit another recession with it. But if you were gonna go on a vacation and it ended up being canceled, I have a bunch of landscape photos that you could either purchase as a photo print, or you could get them framed, choose the size of them, the paper quality, anything like that. So you could bring that into your home or your workspace or anything like that. Just kind of brighten the mood or anything if you're a big landscape person. So make sure you check those out. My apparel, like I said, is gonna be on my merch page and Teespring. You can choose color of the t-shirt, or there's t-shirts, long sleeves, hoodies, and tote bags, as well as the stickers. You choose the color, the size, anything like that. You can find them, like I said, on the merch page in Teespring. And then my photo prints are going to be available on my merch page as well, and on my merch page and on Zazzle. Like I said, Zazzle and Teespring, those are the two that I actually sell them on. I just link to them so it's easier for you guys to find them on there. So make sure you check those out if you're interested. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you have a great day. Be safe and go be creative.